But Tommy Rich, what? Okay.
Tommy Rich was a matinee idol in his day.
I believe it.
I mean, in the South, Georgia Championship Wrestling, right? They gave him the world title for like a week. I think he won it in Gainesville and lost it in Augusta, or vice versa, something like that. And so yeah, Tommy was every girl's boy. They are shooting that woman's rear end. He was every girl's dream back. I mean, Arn Anderson said he's a matinee idol. Would always say that.
Yeah.
And I would say it's idol, not idol.
I love you for that.
Yeah. I just saw on YouTube, I clicked on it, the Ole Anderson turning on Thunderbolt Patterson.
That's great shit, isn't it?
Yeah, World Championship Wrestling. I was holding the microphone. Don't remember it at all, but it was one of the early days of us on TBS.
Yes.
And early days, 85. Of course, we started in April of 85. And listen to Arn talk. It was fucking hilarious. It really popped me with that New York Yankees hat on.
Oh, hey, shout out to Brock Anderson. He and CW Anderson became the tag team champions for AML there in that Mid-Atlantic region over the weekend. I'm glad to see Brock still hanging around and doing wrestling, and really cool to see him tagging with CW Anderson, one of our favorites from ECW way back when.
Yep, absolutely. And once again, Brock Anderson's father is one of the greatest people of all time, and don't connect with him enough. But you know how I am with friends, right?
Oh, sure. I mean, listen, it is what it is. I mean, I feel lucky that you're still able to carve out enough time to do the show every week, because I don't think people really understand the workload and the pressure that you deal with day in, day out. But in addition to that, also running a household with a bunch of Howl at the Moon dogs. Mm-hmm. There's a lot, and there's travel. I mean, you're on the road for the Wednesday show, on the road for the Saturday show, doing the pickups, doing the office work, doing the commentary, doing the interviews, I mean, it is just one thing after another. I mean, if you started actually keeping a timer on the amount of time you work, it is redonkulous. I mean, it is Bruce Pritchard level, more so, because Bruce is flying on the company jet and he's home every night, and you are not. You're in and out of hotels. I don't know how you do it all, man.
Well, I'm enjoying it. This week we ran Jacksonville twice as we're recording this. We ran Jacksonville on Wednesday. We ran Jacksonville on Saturday.
You love that, didn't you?
Yeah. So I drove up and back to Jacksonville on Wednesday, and Lois was like really pissed off. So what time did you get in? Well, I got in at 4:30. You're going to kill yourself. And then I tried to do it on Saturday. I drove up, drove back. I got about, to Cordele on 75, and I started losing it. So I got a hotel that night. And I was telling Lois, you've never driven with me, but when I start to get tired, I go into another universe.
What does that mean?
Well, let me explain.
Okay.
Jay Black and Chris Schiavone can attest to this, because they rode with me one time, or a couple of times, from a UGA football game. I start talking nonsensical shit. Like one time we were driving back from Clemson. I was just doing a conversation with Jay, and Jay stopped me. He said, I don't know what the fuck you're saying. I have no idea what's going on. I have no idea who you're talking to. You're spouting. Didn't do it in tongues like I was in church or something, like a Pentecostal church, but I was just talking shit. And so I'm driving, and I'm driving back, and I'm saying shit out loud. There's nobody in the car.
Right.
And I knew right then that I had to pull over because I was getting tired. Anyway, that's an inside story, but I do a lot. And Lois gets mad at me because I come home and then I immediately go up to the office and start writing scripts, or I'll go up to the office and I'll answer emails about talent relations or something. But it is a very, very busy life, but Jesus, how fortunate am I to still be doing it at this age, at this level. I'm really a lucky guy. I've said it many times. And then I go back and I click on the YouTube thing and I see me holding the microphone for Ole Anderson or Ric Flair or even later Blackjack Mulligan. God almighty. How lucky am I?
Right.
So yeah. So, but yet talent relations can take it out of you. We are watching Scott Hall get in the ring. Boy. Oh, he's got the microphone. You want to track
the JWO? Here we go.
Foley.
Hey, yo.
Oh.
For years and years, about whether you came to see WCW or whether you came to see the. That was a little lame, but I'll give you another chance. But I always wondered if it came down to the two hottest tag teams in the world, how many people came to see DX?
Quite a warm response.
Nice response. How many people came to see the NWO?
If he's leading the audience there,
Sing along with Scott
the
Hall.
vocal intonation there. You know, I do that with my kids. Like
It's really close, but survey says one more for the bad guy.
that's not fair because I can say to my kids, "Hey kids, you want to go to Disney
And
World?
if you
Or
ain't
you wanna
down
go to
with that,
Afghanistan?"
then I got 2 words for you. Woo woo!
Whoop, whoop, indeed, Sean Waltman. Unbelievable to have these three men in the ring together once again. It's been quite a time since these three have been together.
Now, Sean Waltman and Kevin Nash are both there. They're both veterans of the gathering. Am I right?
Ladies and gentlemen,
And we had a lot of mic work in this one. I mean, you had Kevin Nash, X-Pac, and Scott Hall on one side. Of course, Scott's not wrestling. He's just on the outside, but they're going to be taking on the New Age Outlaws. Isn't it crazy how many old shows we watch just all across this planet, whether it was, you know, something in the WWF or something in AEW or something on the independents here. Billy Gunn was everywhere.
and look great. Didn't he?
I just don't understand how he's been everywhere and looked the same the entire time. Now I understand people would say, "Oh, well, you can look at his face and see he's gotten older." Yeah, he's not fucking mythical. He's a real human being, but from the neck down, he's the same dude.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
I mean, you've seen every other older wrestler who's been on this show and they did not age like Billy Gunn did. Whatever he's doing is working. And we just got a special guest referee. That was Vampiro who just ran out, or
Yeah.
Vampiro. I'll always think of Marvez saying that last week.